Well, as you said, Des, Burnden Park, Bolton, the home of legendary English soccer heroes like Nat Lofthouse and Tommy Banks, but I'm sure we'll have a few rugby names to become household by the time this match is over. And Warrington had a shock this week with the suspension of young scrum half star Paul Bishop. We saw him sent from the field in the semi-final. Well, he's suspended, and the experienced Steve Peters come in, but a very, very strong side there, and a side that can afford 2 internationals on the substitutes bench in Ronnie Duane and Alan Rathbone. But Warrington, they'll need a strong side, I think, to tackle possibly the most successful Wigan side for many, many a year. This Wigan team coached by Graham Lowe, one of the best, highest paid coaches in the rugby league. But certainly they'll have a few problems there. Wigan, full strength side, and Gill, Roberts and Potter recovered from injuries. And David Stevenson, very interestingly now, this Great Britain centre, moves out to the wing at number 2. I think that's to enable Joe Lydon and Dean Bell a little bit more pace in midfield. And I think Graham Lowe's hoping to use this very wide Burnden Park pitch to good effect. So, fireworks in prospects, and none better there from Ellery Hanley. 26 tries already, the league's top try scorer. He'll certainly pose a problem for Warrington's defence. But there's a man who proposes a problem for anyone's defence. I think 1 or 2 of the Wigan forwards a little bit intimidated by him in the league match. Well, time will tell today. Les Boyd, a tremendous prop forward, number 8. So, just ready then for this 1987 final. Referee John Holsworth. Some of the viewers will remember him in the final last season. Very experienced lad from Leeds. Just about to get ready, this John Player Special Trophy final underway. The 16th occasion of these finals. And I think, Alec, this promises to be one of the best.
Yes, it's certainly going to be a lot of people running about very quickly there, because it's bitterly cold here at Burnden Park, and really there'll be no dawdling about on the field as soon as the final whistle goes.
Well, dawdling about on the field, the real testimony to the underground heating here. It's in first-class condition, that pitch. I was out on it there this morning. We can see from the divots coming up, it's excellent condition. Wigan in the cherry and white shirts. And Warrington, a new strip, the all-blue strip with the primrose and white V on the attack to Bob Jackson. And these have been the Warrington tactics all season, using this very, very powerful pack. Already beaten Wigan 4 times in the last 8 months, but a cup final is rather different. Oh, that's a good ball to Johnson, to Cullen. Oh, Forster, good tackle. I think in that tackle there from David Stevenson, there are going to be no prisoners this afternoon, Alan.
No, you can certainly say, Ray, that both these sides will want to win this afternoon, and Warrington think they've got a point to prove. They think they're going to be the Cup Kings this year. Wigan are definitely always in the running for being Cup Kings. It should be a very interesting tussle.
Oh, and a good heel there from Wigan. Wigan are the holders of this trophy, beating Hulkinson Rovers last season. With Warrington, the more successful side in the history of this trophy, already won it 3 times, and a problem already. The linesman already on the field, having a word. I think an elbow, yes. Mr. Brown reporting there an elbow, possibly Andy Goodway, the loose forward, number 13.
That was an interesting decision then by the referee. He obviously knew that the Warrington players, some of them have been accused of refereeing the game, but today he just looked away and said, "I'll referee and you just get on with the game."
Yeah, possibly an off-the-ball incident against Wigan loose forward Goodway. This lad Brian Johnson being well policed. You can certainly see the keenness in the defence, but referee Holsworth, get back, yes, interfering, rubbing the person's face in the ground, and not very nice on a cold day like this. Bob Jackson. And a good kick from Jackson. possibly have to do the kicking with Bishop being off. Used to do the kicking in his Cronulla days in Sydney, Australia. Knock-off. Yes, and the penalty. I like to see John Holsworth as a referee, very firm, standing no messing, keeping the two sides apart, and certainly standing no back chat. A penalty there against Warrington.
I don't think that'll stop Les Boyd, who was the culprit in that occasion there, but I think you'll find that Les is too professional player just to let one penalty stop him playing his game like that. He'll be at it all the match, and he'll be hoping that Mr. Holsworth will give him 1 or 2 penalties.
West. And another powerful prop here, 6'5", New Zealander, Graham West, Wigan skipper. Oh, and that's a good tackle by Boyd on Roberts. An interesting decision there, crossing there by Steve Peters and Les Boyd. At the play of the ball, you must stand directly behind the man who is facing.
I think if there is going to be a problem in the early stages, it's who's going to be keenest. And Warrington look as though they're very, very keen and want to get on with it, and maybe a little bit too keen.
Wigan, first time here on the Warrington 25. To Brian Case. This lad already got a Cup winners medal with Warrington back in '81. This is the danger man, Ellery Hanley. Good footballer, but very, very strong. Good upper body strength. Easily able to slug off the tackle, but not a tackle like that number 4 there. Warrington's Joe Rapati, 16-stone centre, and that's a good kick. Excellent kick from Lydon. He had a lot of practice with kicks. He was well coached in the Great Britain squad. They held a few special clinics for the lad, and I think it's paying off this season. Interesting to see, Alex, since the new turnover rule in rugby league 2 or 3 seasons ago, kicking has really become back in the game, hasn't it?
Yes, it was an art in itself, and it's nice to see people like Lydon and Sean Edwards, and when they drive a man back, this little lad at 17 will be 18. He'll be interested to get into this game, and if he gets running with the ball, it could spell danger for Warrington.
Good battle going on between those two number 8s. The long and the short and the tall there. Graham Lowe, 6'5", Les Boyd, 5'8". And Edwards there, showing his pace on Steve Peters, I think. To Dean Bello, he's got half a gap. He's got Gill on the outside. It must be a try. It is. The first one. And it was the pace that we were saying in the team previews between Lydon and Bell. They had that extra yard in the centre, just made the half gap. And Henderson Gill was in. Tremendous start there for Wigan. 4 points to 0, and Gill's 16th try of the season.
Well, this is beautiful play by Wigan here. No problem, a good quick play of the ball. And watch how they're not frightened to use the ball. Using it wide out here. Quick hands, beautiful ball to line. Just gets on the side of right side of Cullen. Give Henderson Gill an absolute walking day. This is a good start, and that's a good try.
Yes, he'll be pleased with that, Henderson Gill. He usually has a smile on his face, and especially so with tries like that.
Well, this is the start Wigan really required. It's a beautiful piece of rugby. Quick hands all along the line here. Good ball from Lydon. Watch Dean Bell here. This is brilliant centre play. Gives Henderson Gill an absolute walking day.
And Gill himself to take the kick. Already 16 tries and 55 goals. But a difficult one. No wind out at all. Very still. No. Flights it across the front of the post. So just 4 points to 0 for Wigan. But the sort of dream star that you like in a final. He's been out recently with a bruised shoulder, not played for a couple of weeks, so good time to come back.
It'll be interesting to see now the response from Warrington, because they certainly won't like that, because Warrington have been noted this season for the way how quick they start a game. But look at the tactics from Wigan here. Get the ball, they've got a little bit of a run with them, they're tackling well, and they're going to play Warrington in their own half.
Yes, a lot of pressure on Brian Johnson there to Forster. I think we should see some problems there between Forster and Stevenson as this game unfolds. Kevin Tamati seemingly going nowhere there, but I think Kevin Tamati spotted that Wigan defence coming up very, very quick at second and third receiver there. Decided to hold on to the ball. Jackson. Very powerful pack of forwards this Warrington side. Like to soften up, and here's one man who does soften up. Oh, beautiful run by Boyd to Sanderson. Well, didn't he just fairly shrug Martin Dermot off out of the way? Like a fly, swatted him away. Kelly. Oh, well taken by Hampson. And well recovered. Both sides employing the high kick. Wigan sensibly holding on to the ball here. To Lydon. Oh, that's a good ball to Stevenson. I think already, Alec, we're seeing something about the pace in this Wigan centre with Bell and Lydon.
Yes, you've got to look at it that way, and if there is going to be a little chink in the Warrington's armour, it is out wide, because Wigan have got electrifying pace on both flanks, and obviously with Dean Bell and Lydon, they've got it in the centres as well.
Just 10 minutes gone, 4 points to 0 for Wigan. And just look where Andy Goodway's positioned himself. Well, not so much effect because Brian Johnson beat him easily. But the idea was right there. Push the ball back to Johnson, put the pressure on him. And a penalty. Not allowing Johnson to play the ball. Yes. Clutching around. Good liaison there between the touch judge and the referee. And Bob Jackson there stepping into the kicking shoes of the youngster Paul Bishop. Jackson again. Les Boyd. Oh, that's a good ball to Mark Roberts. A little bit too short there on the narrow side. They use that quite effectively. Roberts, the top try scorer in a forward rugby league.
It's just watching that caption then with Graham West, looks as though he's been detailed to mark Les Boyd, and you'll find out that these two have not a lot of time for each other, and there'll be a little bit of friction going on with them.
Good strong Warrington pressure here. Kelly to Sanderson. Good promising youngster, this number 11 here. Gary Sanderson, signed from the Thatcher Heath Amateur Rugby League Club. That's dangerous, but well taken. And a good example there of the new rule brought in this season to counteract the profusion of the high bombs. When a player takes the ball in the dead ball area, takes it satisfactorily, a tap out on the 25-yard line. And I think it's made for better rugby, Alec.
Yes, it is, and if you notice then how Wigan quickly got the ball to the 25, because they realise when a side's walking back, if they do get the ball down to the 25, they're going to the centre scoring.
Oh, that's a sharp kick, but well judged. And I think there was good sportsmanship there on Sean Edwards' part. He was about to kick for the ball, but I think he thought he might do Johnson some damage.
Yes, and well, he's a good professional player, young Sean. He knows what the game's all about. He loves playing rugby, it's his life, and that was what rugby league's all about.
Steve Peters. Very experienced lad this, ex-St Helens player. He'll not let this Warrington side down. Been in the game quite a few seasons. Good utility back. To Roberts. Just not timing his run. Good ball to Stevenson. Martin Dermot. Oh, but a back pass. Good pick-up by Stevie Hampson there, but already the infringement given. I should think he's a bit cold there at full back. He'll want to get into the action.
They look that little bit sharper though, Ray, Wigan at the moment. They look as though they've got that yard of pace, and I think you'll find out that their game will be moving the ball out wide and slipping in the tackle.
Yes, and of course we are playing on a soccer pitch, Alec, which is about 3 yards wider than a rugby pitch under normal circumstances, isn't it?
That again, Ray, will obviously suit the Wigan three-quarters. They have got the extra yard in pace, and if they move it out wide and run with the ball, it's got to be the in-bird advantage.
Case. Oh, good run from West. He's got Edwards with him. Just couldn't get the ball there. Referee John Holsworth trying to play the advantage there to allow Warrington to get the ball, but no, they could just get to him. There once again, I think you saw the value of this number 7 scrum half. He's always backing up, always supporting. Penalty, not retiring.
I think he's actually give that way for Mr. Bell, give him a few words of advice, and I think you'll find out that Mr. Holworth will say, keep it shut, let me referee the game, and you get down there. That was very plain.
Well, thank goodness we can't lip read, Ali. But there's one thing, certainly Mr. Holsworth's in charge. I think everybody knows that. Peters, that's a good ball again to Roberts. Oh, well taken by Mike Gregory. We should watch this time and time again with Warrington, moving the ball to the blind side, looking for Mark Roberts there. Kelly, good half break. Tamati. This is good stuff now from Warrington. Using these big forwards to make the initial break, then the half-backs, Peters and Kelly coming off them. Johnson. But this Wigan defence, the best defensive record in the rugby league at the moment. Oh, that's a beautiful ball to Mike Gregory. Has he got the support? He has. He's got Peters. Forster must be in the corner. He's in. Oh, tremendous pass there from Stevie Peters. I thought he bottled himself up, but that was just as we were saying. The initial break by the forwards, Tamati to Gregory, then the half-back, Stevie Peters, and a beautiful pass out wider. And let's give credit to Mark Forster again for the way he picked that ball up. It really wanted some doing, and it's 4 points each. What a final we've got on our hands now. Tremendous way to reply there from Warrington.
Well, what a way to respond to pressure. A beautiful break here by Michael Gregory. He holds the ball, he keeps his head when everybody... A lovely ball from Stevie Peters too. But look at the pickup. That is top-class play. That's the way to answer him.
Yes, superb try. Well, Joe Rapati taking the kicks. Well, he hasn't kicked a goal this season for Warrington. I thought Bob Jackson would be taking the kicks instead of Paul Bishop. Bob Jackson did take the kicks for his Cronulla club in Australia, but this lad is certainly big enough. He's 16 stones, he's a New Zealand international, he's a powerful lad, but not got the direction. And that could be costly, I think, for Warrington if they lack a goal kicker.
Well, this is it. Stevie Peters, number 7. You watch him, he's in the move twice here. Beautiful ball from Kevin Tamati to Michael Gregory. Now, everybody here could have panicked, but he doesn't. He's a young boy. There's Peters again, number 7. A long ball, Foster, and he does well to take this. This is the way a good wingman should take tries, and he does.
Kevin Meadows. All week the pundits in the press have been trying to assess which team would win this final. It's really been very, very close, hasn't it, Ollie?
Yes, and I did make a statement there that the winners of the game which Warrington finally won, Beatson Challenge, would win the competition. I'm not changing from that, although I think I wouldn't like to put my mortgage on it.
Gregory. Good young fast forward, this lad. Actually a Wigan-born lad, came from the Wigan St Patrick's amateur rugby league club. Very quick. I remember in his schoolboy rugby union days as a wing forward. And that's what you call blanket defence, Alec, isn't it?
And it looks like Warrington are just getting into the game. They're noted for a very, very quick start. They've been a little bit slow starting, but one thing they can do is tackle. And I think that's what we're going to be a little bit wary of. They don't like being knocked down man and ball, and they will be.
Well, both of these clubs in the finest of rugby league traditions, both at the moment top of the rugby league, joint with St Helens and Castleford, so you couldn't have two better sides to contest the final. Well taken by Kevin Meadows. Good hard young this lad, this. Another ex-St Helens player, hitting his best form this season. Yes, and you're allowed to do that. Many teams seem to forget that both players can play for the ball once it's put on the floor. Very, very well done there by Roberts. Done quite a lot in Australia, and interesting that it's taken an Australian player to do that. Wigan seem to be having Ellery Hanley playing out wide, Alec.
Yes, I think they've told Mr Hanley that he must not get involved with Gray and with Les Boyd, because that could be a very, very dangerous position to be in. But I think they're better using Hanley out wide. I think you'll find out they'll float about. This is what Wigan will keep doing, keep driving them back with little sharp kicks and long kicks down the field.
Yes, good kick from Sean Edwards.
Just having a look at the number 7, Ray. You know, have a look at the haircuts. I don't know who's cut this hair, but it's a cracker, isn't it?
Well, it reminds me of his father, Jackie. Jackie used to have a haircut like that, didn't he? Although I can't complain about haircuts, Alec, I must admit. Peters to put the ball in. And Edwards in, very, very quick. Warrington's first heel from the scrum there. Possibly one of the reasons why Wigan are kicking. They may think they've an advantage, but they shouldn't have, with a powerful front row like Boyd, Tamati and Jackson for Warrington. Still 4 points each, just those 2 tries from Gill for Wigan and Forster. Both full-backs being put under a lot of pressure, both using the kicking game and using it to good effect.
I think if there is a little bit of wind which is coming down the field is in Wigan's favour, and I think this is why Joe Lively and Sean Edwards are using it. If you notice when Bob Jackson kicked that ball, then it's protected by the stands until it gets out in the open.
Well, not a good kick there from Lydon. Both sides settling down here now. I think we're in that period where the 2 sets of forwards are testing each other. It's like a heavyweight contest. The first 6 or 7 rounds soaking up the pressure. Edwards. One thing about this number 8, Graham West, he certainly drives very direct.
I must admit, Ray,
Dermot, good ball to Goodway. Here's a chance again. No, bad pass. Looks as though the touch judge, Mr. Easteron, I think he saw something with Graham West kicking out, trying to get free, caught Bob Jackson and a penalty. So play must come back to the spot.
And this is watch what Graham West as he gets up here now. Just watch what his feet is. He's not penalising. I know he's holding him down, but watch what he does with his feet. That is a very dangerous position to be in, and Bob Jackson caught one in the face.
Yes, good liaison here, I think, in this match between the touch judges and the referee. They've obviously got their understanding going. Oh, good tackle. And this surface here at Bolton, and I think just the whole atmosphere here at Burnham Park, so ideal for rugby league. It's not the first match we've had. Swinton have played a couple of times here, and Wigan have. And of course Bolton is now becoming a rugby league town. There's very good amateur side in and schoolboys playing it, so who knows, we might see more rugby here.
There's some absolute ferocious tackling going on now by Warrington to keep Wigan pinned down in this 25 out there. I'm very surprised they're not losing the long kick.
Well, oh, that's a bad knock on. Just Henderson Gill just couldn't take advantage of that. And I think it really is difficult for some of these wingmen like Kevin Meadows. They stood on the wing out there for long periods in the almost below zero temperatures, and suddenly they're expected to catch a swirling ball.
Live near as he pumps the ball down the field. Kevin Meadows, he's got plenty of time, but it's a little bit tricky. It's a little bit cold out there, and it just slips through his fingers.
Yes, feeding. John Edwards feeding his own scrum there. So Jackson to kick. Warrington, the most successful side in the history of this trophy. They've already beaten Rochdale and Widnes and Barrow in previous finals. Gregory, Peters again, doing very well, this Steve Peters. Tamati. Well, they're not just tackling him, but they're carrying him back. Just not being able to launch this lad, Mark Roberts here, this number 12. He's 11 tries to his credit, and he can run if he gets a gap. Well, that's a good kick. No one really covering it. I think Sean Edwards got there more by accident than goodwill.
Yes, I think the gods are smiling a little bit then, but it just shows you, Ray, what the little chip kick can do now, because this wind is swirling about a bit, and Ken Kelly tried it with good effect, and if that ball had bounced the right way, I think Wigan could have been in big trouble.
I think it's a case here of the old cliche, defence is well on top, certainly neither side giving anything away. Oh, there's Henderson Gill. But Joe Rapati, the Warrington number 4 there, covering him well. Johnson just letting it roll there. So Lydon continually kicking there down that right-hand touchline. Gregory coming away there. Warrington using 3-4 of these play the balls to build up the situation. Then these two half-backs. Invariably here, Kelly and Peters at the hub of the operations.
The different styles of the two teams. Warrington play the more basic rugby league, which is running and driving and playing the 6 tackles, and Wigan like to throw the ball about, because obviously with the 3/4 they've got in the pace, that is more advantage to them.
Goodwill. And certainly at the moment, Warrington look to have this very powerful, very glamorous Wigan back division in a tight rein. Well covered. Referee John Holsworth waving on. One or two thought that Sean Edwards was obstructed, but John Holsworth was right on the spot. We've got to abide by his decision. He had no hesitation whatsoever. Very firm referee. That was a risky ball if Dean Bella was in there. Just 10 minutes left in this first half, still 4 points each, very tight. No, Mark Foster had to take that ball standing still. Should have been on the burst. Interesting, Alec, to see the short chip kicks being employed. The defences are coming up so quick. They are leaving gaps just behind, aren't they?
Yes, there is a little gap just the opposite side of the defence, and obviously on this ground it's a very good ground for just chipping the ball over, because the bounce normally comes back to the man who kicks it, but Wigan at the moment don't know where to go. They're running around in circles, and Warrington obviously have got a grip on the tackling, and it's going to be very interesting in the second half.
Goodwin. Oh, good ball to Edwards. Has he got the pace? Yes. Looking for support. He's got Lydon with him. This is the sort of break that Wigan can make. Good backing up from West to Gill. Now then, he's got Cullen. Gregory coming across. Oh, good cover. Good tackling by Cullen. But that's the sort of opportunist movement that Wigan can make. West again. And it was good forward play from that Wigan skipper. He kept the movement going just when it was about to break down. But the opportunism in one or two of these Wigan backs. Oh, it's a dangerous one. Well, I think he would be offside, yes, and he's been given offside. Hampson there. Too much anticipation. And referee Holsworth right on the spot again. Offside decision.
And this is again, you know, Wigan are using this little chip, and it is a very important ploy as they just chip the ball up here. He is a little bit offside, Stevie Hampson. He's come from in front of the man, as you can see now, and he's way on Kevin Meadows long before the ball gets to the ground.
Les Boyd not managed to escape the clutches of these Wigan forwards, and Graham West certainly not letting him go. Oh, good ball to Gregory. Now then, it's a one-to-one, but I think Bell will have the pace, and he does. Good break from that loose forward, number 13, Mike Gregory. Johnson, Brian Johnson. And this is the man for me here, number 6, Ken Kelly. He was the man in the semi-final who crucified Widnes with his defence-splitting passes, and I think he's beginning to do the same here with Wigan now. Sanderson to Joe Rapati. Warrington very powerful coming down the middle. Oh, well taken by Meadows. Looks to have some dirt in his eye. Oh, it looks like a cut. John Holsworth, I think, rightly concerned about that. In rugby league, the game, not very often is it stopped for injuries, but for a nasty gash like that. Well, he's going to play on. Probably just under the eyelid. Yes, offside. And more back chat. Certainly costing Warrington some yardage. West. One of his great advantages is his height, this man. He can have tacklers around his midriff, but he can still get that ball away, usually to a man like Edwards. Oh, good dummy from Dermot. Edwards again to Gill. Andy Goodway trying to take a pass with one hand. Kelly.
Look a little bit more organised at the moment, yeah, Warrington. It just seems as though they're getting that little bit of confidence, as if they've got the second run and they're saying we can take the game to Wigan, and they've started running more with the ball.
Ken Kelly, this is the man who's really opening out play, Alec. He's presenting problems every time he's in possession at first or second receiver, isn't he?
Yes, I mean, he's a good little player, Ray. He's probably in the second half, if things are not going well, they may move him to number 7 and bring Ronnie Dwayne on at standoff. That'll be very interesting, Ray.
Peters. Oh no, this looks like a chance for a powerful charge, and there is Brian Johnson. Oh, good tackle from Goodway. Copy boot loose forward covering there. That was dangerous. Kelly again. Good positional play there from Hampson.
I'm very surprised the way the little chips have been going in there, that we don't vary it a little bit and put the grubber kick in, which will make Stevie Hampson go down for the ball and put him under a little bit more pressure.
Good strong clearing run there from Brian Case. That's the sort of work that he likes. Hard, grafting forward, not the spectacular. Hanley again. Oh, has he got it? Yes, he has. But he's got Les Boyd with him. Always lurking, always dangerous, Hanley there when he gets the ball out wide. Well taken by Johnson. He looks to be hobbling somewhat. He has had knee trouble. He was out earlier in the season. He had a probe on one of his knees to clear a little bit of bone damage, but I'm sure Wigan will want him fully fit.
We could really do with a score now, Ray, to liven this game up a little bit. It's gone a little bit dead because both sets of forwards are still tackling as hard as what he was when the whistle was kicked off. But now we've got Wigan, who think, well, if we can pin Warrington down in this half, we've got a big chance to steal a point or two.
Oh, that's a good ball. Hampson did well there to clear. He's got some space. Superb run there by Wigan fullback Steve Hampson. Not a big lad, but a tricky player. Hanley again, looking for West. A little bit like basketball at the moment from Wigan, but not really going forward. 2 or 3 passes going around the space of 4 or 5 yards, but very, very flat. Goodway. That's a good ball to Bell. And it was a good job that Paul Cullen grabbed his ankle there. Edwards again, but Stevenson's come off that right wing. Well, is it a try? No, not on. But my word, Ellery Hanley there. 1 minute I'm saying he looked to have a bad knee, and suddenly he came from nowhere. Although he still does appear to be limping a little, Alec, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, Ray, and I'll tell you this must have been very, very close, because this chip of Andy Goodway's looked as though it was going nowheres. Ellery gets the ball, moves it out here. Sean Edwards again, moves the ball out to Goodway. Now, what's the little chip? Les Boyd here thinks the ball's going to go dead, thinks there's no danger. Watch, all of a sudden a black flash appear. Must have been. He just knocked it dead.
Very hard, bruising battle in this pack. I wouldn't be surprised that although this game is very close at 4 points each, that there weren't quite a few points in the second half. I think 1 or 2 of these players must tire, Alec.
Well, this is it, and just then, Ray, when Wigan was in that position, I'm surprised that the drop goal wasn't introduced, because to go in with any lead at all has got to be an advantage.
Jackson. I think Stevenson would have been as well leaving that to Hampson, but he managed to take it. 40 minutes gone in this first half, into injury time. Just that one check-up on Kevin Meadows with the cut eye. Hanley. Certainly keeping a very close watch on this man. He's already scored 26 tries, the league's top try scorer this point.
4 is still the score. Second half underway with Alec Murphy and Ray French.
Yes, there's still very, very tight match. Just 6 minutes gone in this second half, and enthralling here for this 20,600 crowd who brave the elements, but certainly an intriguing match, Alec. These 2 packs really locked in battle, aren't they?
Yes, and as in the first half, when Warrington put Wigan under a tremendous amount of pressure, they've come out in the second half and done exactly the same. They're pinning Wigan back in their own 25, and really the problem's being now missing little Alan Bishop, who got suspended earlier on in the week. There's been in 2 positions where he would have dropped goals, and they've not tried him.
Trying to launch Brian Johnson there, the danger man already. 5 tries in the earlier rounds, a hat-trick and 2 in the semi-final. Alan Rathbone there, the substitute. Come on for Kevin Tamati. Kelly. Les Boyd. Looking for Gregory, that's a beautiful ball to Johnson. Well, I don't think Paul Cullen was expecting that ball to be turned inside, but it was well done by Johnson. He didn't anticipate it.
I think we could have a problem here with one of the incidents off the ball.
Yes, there looks to have been an off-the-ball incident, Alec.
And as we see here, Michael Gregory's got the ball in and slips the ball, and just as he comes in, Bell did catch him as he released the ball. And this is where Brian Johnson had good running with the ball.
But it's Dean Bell who's having a word with him. Well, I spoke to John Holsworth before the game. I was trying to clear up the problem of the sending offs or the sin bins. He said if anyone goes off this field, Ray, he'll be sent off. There'll be no sin bin. So he's a very determined referee. And a penalty. Now this is very interesting again. Joe Rapati taking the kick. It's not a very difficult kick for an experienced kicker. It's only about 28 yards out to the right of the post. I'm sure someone like the scrum half who's sitting on the bench at the moment, Paul Bishop, the regular kicker, would slot this over. But Joe Rapati still looking for his first goal kick of the season with Warrington. But he's a powerful lad, 16 stone. Can he get this over? No, he doesn't. And this goal kicking on it could be a problem. That's 2 missed now, isn't it?
Yes, and really, with Paul Bishop on, like I say, you don't keep idling on these things, but he would have kicked goals like that. And in cup ties are won by people kicking goals, and Warrington have missed 2 very, very reasonable goals.
I think Wigan, Alec, too, unusually have been sort of sucked into a forward game here. It's not usually their style, is it?
Yes, I think this fellow who's got the ball now is John Edwards. He's got to start breaking the middle down, and Wigan have got to start moving the ball out wide. I don't think there's any way in the world that Wigan can play Warrington down the middle, and yet they keep on doing this.
Yes, and we're getting a lot of niggling going on at the moment. A lot of niggling. Now, there's good refereeing from Mr. Holdsworth. I think he told the touch judge there, yes, I saw the incident, I had a word in quiet with the player concerned, I think it was Steve Peters, and let the game go on. And I think a player often respects that. That was good refereeing there from Mr. Holdsworth. Handling. The defence and the tackling, Alec, really is so fierce, nobody can make a break, can they?
Yes, well, they've played 2-3 games this season, and really there's been only one lot of tries scored early on in the season when Warrington actually trounced Wigan.
Edwards. Well, I think that kick from Joe Lydon there showed the lack of pattern, the lack of direction there in the Wigan play. 5 or 6 passes were put together, they got nowhere, and the ball really went back there in desperation. I think at the moment on both sides, Alec, there's a bit more enthusiasm than skill, isn't there?
Yes, there is, and what is happening now, it's sheer brute force that both sets of forwards are trying to batter the way down the middle instead of playing football. Maybe they realise that the next score here could be very important.
Well, it is. It's an important game. It's a cup final and 2 of the best sides in the game. Both of these sides have match winners in their own right. Jackson, Rapati there, taking it again, one-handed.
And that again, they had a chance missed there, because I think they had a definite over at Warrington, and Joe Rapati, who's dropped 2 simple balls, and he's just not having the best of days.
Case. Wigan are the holders of this trophy, beat Hodkinson Rovers 11 points to 8 last season. They've beaten Leeds in the final in 82-83. And the 6th tackle coming up. I think this is the first time in the match, Alec, that we've actually gone for 6 tackles. Shows the amount of kicking, doesn't it?
Yes, and there again, Sean Edwards, what a beautiful ball that goes out to Dean Bell.
Lydon again, and he has to kick, he knows. Well taken by Roberts. Case. Now then, can Wigan open this up? They do. Goodway to Dermot. Graham West driving for the line. He's got the strength, just hasn't got the pace. But it's a turnover. That was the sixth tackle. Although Ian Roberts caught the ball for Wigan, it hadn't hit a Warrington player. They've made no effort to get the ball, so it's the turnover rule. Ball handed to Warrington. But I think that does show the danger with this Wigan side. There are such individuals in here that can suddenly conjure a try from nowhere. And this big Wigan contingent in the crowd getting behind the favourites now. Neither team's supporters, Warrington and Wigan, had very far to travel here to this Burnden Park soccer ground. Very game full-back, this Stevie Hampson. Recovered well from a broken leg a couple of seasons ago. Henderson Gill not really going forward, Alec, is he?
No, and he is one of these men that the Warrington side do realise that he checks inside every time he gets the ball. If we're going to go on to win this game, we've got to start releasing the ball like we did on the last occasion.
That's a good ball to Lydon. Stevenson. Hanley lurking around there off Graham West. These two half-backs for Wigan, they're the danger. Scored well over a third of Wigan's tries this season, Edwards and Hanley. Oh, it's loose. Edwards is on, it's all on. That's a good ball there to Hampson. Just couldn't get there. Just didn't have the strength. 15 minutes gone in this second half. The interesting time now, 4 points each, just to try to force it and do. Oh, well out by Graham West. Oh, beautiful ball from Dermot. Martin Dermot there, only a youngster, slipped a beautiful pass out there to Edwards. Henderson Gill, oh, beautiful dummy. Well, I just said this man was not going forward. He answered me in no certain style. Beautiful dummy, and Henderson Gill was in, and what a tremendous effort there, and how well those Wigan fans are pleased with that. His danger is that he does come in midfield, he pops up in the most unlikely of places, and he's put Wigan in the lead, 8 points to 4.
Well, as you say, individual players, Ray, do win matches, and this is what Henderson Gill does best. He comes in, jinks inside, and has a walking day. Very easy.
And it's Gill again to take the kick. Has been the regular kicker for Wigan this year, 55 goals. And a very important 56 this one would be. Oh, it's hit the post. Well, we keep saying that these goal kicks could prove costly in the end. We've yet to put one over in this match. But 8 points to 4.
Here we have it again, Emerson Gill. Just wants a little jink. Normally comes inside off his right foot, whips inside of Les Boyd there, and has the simplest of chances.
So Warrington behind again. Can they come back? They've certainly displayed the character this season. They've won 14 matches on the trot in Cup and League. Beaten Wigan on the last 4 occasions. But Cup rugby is so different from League. When I asked the Wigan coach, Graham Lowe, that did his side have a psychological barrier against playing against Warrington, he said certainly not. The Cup match will be different. We'll have a different plan. And a penalty, holding down. And rightly so, Joe Lydon there, holding Paul Cullen down. And I think, Alec, we must give a lot of credit to this man, John Holsworth. He said that this would be a very difficult game to referee, but he's made it look easy, hasn't he?
Yes, he has, because he's a very strict referee and he's standing no nonsense. This is what rugby league's about. He's the boss, and the players are abiding by that.
Rathbone. Warrington again, using the forwards. And this Wigan defence still holding. Oh, good tackle by Sean Edwards. The ball, Forster. Well, he can run, this lad, Mark Forster. He won the Rugby League sprint title in October and November before the Australian Test matches. And pressure now from the wires. Been in very good form, this number 4 for Warrington since he arrived from New Zealand. Well taken. Covering back there from Joe Lydon. I think Joe Lydon's experience there at full back in the tests helped him with that.
Oh, yes, standing in good stead. He caught the ball over the line and obviously the 25-yard tap. But Warrington will be disappointed with that because they know they've got to put some points on the board. The longer this game goes on and Wigan are in command, it'll be more difficult for them.
Well, a penalty there. And doesn't he look hurt? Henderson saying, that hurt. Iron Case driving away as ever. "20 minutes left in this match. Wigan just by that one try, 8 points to 4. But I get the feeling, Alec, that that 4 points isn't going to be enough. I think Warrington was packed very, very powerful, isn't it?
No, and obviously at this moment in time, Warrington are not playing like they can play. They're being restricted in effect by Wigan's tackling because there certainly is some strong tackling and they're not getting a lot of ball.
Yes, it's significant. They've got a 2-to-1 scrummage possession, and I think with hooker Kevin Tamati being off, it's causing problems. Wigan ball again. Oh, good one to Martin Dermott. Little bit adventurous there from the youngster. Only a young lad, that Wigan hooker, number 9, Martin Dermott. Only an apprentice in the game, but doing very, very well. Ex-Colt player. And doing a good hooking job. But that's Stevie Peters' ball. Good anticipation there. Good head on him. Offside. You certainly wouldn't think that this man Ken Kelly, the way he's been playing for 16 or 17 seasons in this game. Looks as lively as ever. I think Warrington have got to vary the game a little bit, Alec. Wigan defence is really coming up, isn't it? Oh, there's a chance for Goodway. Now then, can he go the full length of the field? I'm almost certain he will. Brian Johnson's chasing, but it's a try. Andy Goodway. Good anticipation there. Oh, a fortunate kick, whichever way you look at it. But those Wigan spectators only look at it one way. It's another 4 points to Wigan. And great pace there from that loose forward. Great Britain's player. 12 points to 4 to Wigan. Just the sort of break they might have needed.
Brian Johnson here, obviously trying to say something different. Comes in from the back of the line, chips over. Andy Goodway reads it very well here. Now this fella can run. There's no problem about it. He's just canting it for him. He's a loose forward. He's no problem. He's just bolting over. Looks both ways. Very easy. And that could be very, very important.
And can Henderson Gill put this kick over for the first kick of the match. He does. It's a good one. The Wigan contingent roar again. So 2 points for Henderson Gill, 14 points to 4. And Ronnie Duane, nice to see this ex-Great Britain international coming back onto the field for Steve Peters. And Steve Peters had a good hard game, good solid man, but nice to see this lad. He's been plagued by injury since his trip to Australia with Great Britain in 1984. Nice to see him fit again. And it's amazing how a try like that puts confidence in you, Alec, doesn't it? Yes, Roberts streaming away there.
It does, and obviously that will give Wigan all the confidence they need. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ronnie Duane, the Warrington substitute. Whether Jody Partey will go number 6, and if he does, he's probably the biggest number 6 that's played in this game for a long time.
Good way. Well, it's a penalty. Although Warrington had the ball, referee John Holsworth played advantage. But I think Warrington would rather have the advantage of the kick to touch. And Paul Cullen looks all right. I think anyone would get up with a wet sponge on a day like this. Kevin Meadows.
Very basic stuff now, Warrington. They're just running and from acting half back, and one man drives all the time. There's no support play, and really they need to try very quickly.
I think Warrington have got to use their second rows running off wide. The party. They're not really troubling this Wigan defence around the play of the balls, around these rucks at 1 and 2. They've got to move them out wide, I think, to get Gregory and get Sanderson and Roberts coming in, running at the centres. The 6th tackle. Yes. Standing still again, behind the dead ball area. So, tap to Edwards. To Henderson Gill again. Well, he's coming in field now. He loves it, does Henderson Gill. John Edwards sensing that gap, sensing Johnson was deep, putting the pressure on Warrington, keeping them down here, and a good tackle from Ellery Hanley. Ronnie Duane will look to get into this game very, very quickly, having been sat on the bench for 60-70 minutes.
Wigan look as though they've got the bit between the teeth there. They're closing Warrington down very, very quickly, and they don't seem to have any answer to this tackling.
Lydon. Oh, good determined run from Joe Lydon there. A little bit more adventurous play there from Martin Dermott. Would have been advised to keep hold. It's Wigan ball again. Oh, good run from David Stevenson. Just tapped his ankles. Gary Sanderson just caught his right ankle. Or I'm sure that lad would have been away. And I get the feeling, Ali, that one or two gaps beginning to come on the outside for these Wigan stars.
Yes, well, XV adding pace, Ray. He's obviously beginning to tell. And Wigan looking a lot more confidence now. They've got the lead, they want to play the football, they know they can play, and they're supporting the man very well with the ball.
Oh, good release there. And Sean Edwards there, providing a good link again. This lad now moving very, very well. Just taking a knock. Well, I think the play of this lad here in the second half, Alec, has been the big difference. He's been buzzing around the further balls, he's been taking it forward and been providing that link between the back and the pack, hasn't he?
Yes, I think Sean is one of these players. He's very, very quick on the ball, and if you notice here as he goes down, that's a very, very hard tackle. And I think what happens is one of the lads treading him as he gets up.
Ryan Case. Wigan still 14 points to 4 in the lead. Oh, good attack here from Warrington, but is Les Boyd holding on to the ball too long? Cullen. I think Les Boyd would have been better advised to have let the ball go straight through his hands to the faster men, but it's still good play from Warrington. Oh, this is looking promising now. Party, Mike Gregory. Still a lot of fire left in this Warrington side. Too much class to allow Wigan to dominate the game. Roberts. Well, that should be another 6 tackles, I think. Yes, and it is. Good recovery here from Warrington. Rathbone. There's one thing about this man, Alan Rathbone, he certainly drives straight and hard at the opposition. Gregory. Oh, that's a good drive there. Wigan had a long and hard haul to get to this final, defeating Leeds and Swinton, Lee and Hull, especially 2 very, very hard games there against Lee and Hull in that 3rd round in the semi-final, but at 14 points to 4, it looks to be coming good for them. Wigan sensibly playing to the blind side there. 7 minutes to go in this match. A case of what we have, we hold. Holding the ball, playing through the 6 tackles, quietly, confidently. I think this Wigan side are of the opinion that we've done enough, but of course that can be dangerous, Alec, can't it?
Yes, it can with the 6 points, try 4 and 2 for the goal. It could be very, very dangerous to relax. I don't think Wigan will do that, Ray. I think they know they've got the control of this game, but they're playing the 6 tackles a lot better than what they have been doing. And Warrington has still got to break the defence, which I don't think they're doing.
This interesting role that Ellery Hanley's been playing, Alec. He's not been in the game all that much. He's been sort of floating around out wide, hasn't he?
Yes, he's had one of his quieter games, but he's always one of them fellas that, you know, you must not take your eye off for a moment, because this fella can turn a match in a split second.
Yeah. These are match winners. You don't see them for 79 minutes and then suddenly they're under the post.
He'd probably be disappointed he's not scored a try.
Kelly. Wanted Wayne. To Forster. Good covering there. Just look there. 3 Wigan players out there towards the wingman. Very good defensive network.
And that's the difference, Ray. When you're in front, you take everything, and when you're behind, nothing seems to go out.
Yes, and that little lad there, Martin Dermott, what a fine game he's had. I was sat next to him in the grandstand last Sunday at Widnes, and he was out. He was looking depressed. He had a bad groin strain, but he's back here. West. Dermott again. Edwards. Oh, that's a bad pass to Gary Meadows, but good recovery. I think we've seen 2 or 3 occasions there of Dean Bell's speed, the way he can recover when a man goes past him. Kelly. For a knockout. And it's not for want of trying by that number 6 there for Warrington, Ken Kelly. I don't think he'd mind me saying in the veteran stage, but certainly a tremendous performer and a credit to the Rugby League. Well, Ellery Hanley being helped up. I think Ellery Hanley is going to be cold if he doesn't get some shots on there. West. Just couldn't get it away. Wigan quite content here, just 4 minutes to go. Well, Ellery Hanley wants to stay as he is.
I think he's after causing a new cult, Ray, and if he keeps that up, I think he'll have all the girls in the world running on the field.
Well, you and I are freezing up here in this commentary box, Alec. I don't know what he's like. Paul Cullen. Well, I think, Alec, we can say that certainly I think it's obvious now that Warrington have lacked Paul Bishop in midfield, haven't they? That little bit of a spark, a little bit of extra spurt and pace.
Yes, I think so. I think really they've lacked a little bit of general idea, but they can play a lot better than this. They're having one of those days where nothing's going out for them, but let's take nothing away from Wigan. They're playing exceptionally well, they're taking the chances well, and they're playing some good football now.
Well, the crowd were oohing for a high tackle there on Graham West. It did look like one, but I think it was a reflex action by the Warrington player. But whether they're deliberate or reflex...
Well, I think if you look at this tackle, if you're the ball, he's 6'3", and to me that looked very, very high indeed.
Yeah, certainly a painful one. And that's one of the problems of being 6'5". You can't duck under those sort of things. Certainly in some fairness ground. So just 2 minutes to go. Wigan with that 10-point lead. And I'm sure now must be very, very confident of taking the second trophy of the season. They've already taken the Lancashire Cup. Hanley again, still looking to get his name on the score sheet. Oh, that's a good run from Hanley. This is what we said. He's got Gill with him on the outside. Young Dermot. Well, he's only a little lad, but my word, he nearly got over there. And he's lost the ball. But once again, it was what Alec Murphy was saying about Ellery Hanley. You can't leave him for a minute. Everdeen, a man of the match there, number 13, Andy Goodway. He'll be £200 richer tonight and have a nice glass decanter on his sideboard. Lesboy. And Wigan with the confidence even to dare to lift Les Boyd up. And they've enjoyed themselves, these forwards. It's been a forward battle, it's been a hard one. But they'll have a good time in the bath afterwards. I think this wingman here, David Stevens, has been able to relieve Wigan time and time again with his strength, Alec, coming in midfield.
He's a centre covering man there, and here's a man who could relieve.
And here's Henderson Gale. Is he going to make the hat-trick? No. One last attempt from Wigan. I think any score now would just be purely academic. Goodway, good release of the ball there. Wigan crowd still urging their favourites on. Hanley. Well, Wigan ball again. Here's a chance. Potter to Bell. He's in. Yes. Good try. Excellent try. Well worked. And that shows the speed of that man, Dean Bell. New Zealand international. Excellent try, and all credit to Wigan for keeping going, playing to the end. 18 points to 4 now, and a convincing win by Wigan.
And the pressure's been on Wigan for the last 10 minutes, and here we have Ian Potter, holds the ball, and just show the pace of Dean Bell, flying for the corner, everyone counts, and he relished it.
Yes, it was a gallant attempt there by Paul Cullen to get into the corner, but nonetheless, Dean Bell, he managed to get in. And Joe Lydon having a go at goal. Very difficult kick here, right out on the touchline. And I think what's more difficult here at Bolton, with it being a soccer pitch, the camber, it moves away slightly, and Joe Lydon having to come a little bit uphill to get it. Not much room actually to get into the kick. It's a good attempt, but not there. 18 points to 4. Third is the hooter. Tremendous performance by Wigan. I think a thoroughly professional performance. Not very spectacular for the opening 50 minutes of the game, but that man there, 2 tries. Henderson Gill not only brought himself to life, but brought 1 or 2 of these spectators as well. I think a very creditable performance, Alec.
Yes, and I think at the end of the day, Ray, Wigan have deserved to win the game. They've took the chances well, they've tackled for a full 80 minutes, and I think really on the day they've deserved the win.